Hello everyone, my name is Alexis and welcome to class today. We are going to get started in Tadasana pose, so make sure your feet are hip width apart. Find your hips, wiggle your feet so they line up right beneath them. Make sure the crease between your second and third toe is facing forward, and then stack your shoulders over your hips over your knees, and your knees over your ankles, and rest your hands by your side, palms facing forward. Today's class is an earth element yoga flow. I love the elements. Anything that has to do with elements or the seasons generally has a win, is a win in my book. And I'm so excited to bring you this grounding earth-based class. So while we're here in Tadasana, I want you to rock back onto your heels and then rock over onto the right edge of your feet, and rock forward onto the balls of your feet, and rock to the left edge of your feet, and then come to find your center. And while you're standing here, imagine that there are tree roots extending from all of your toes, from the ball of your foot, from your heels, all the way down into the earth beneath you. And I want you to come back to this visualization throughout the entire class as we move through different poses, different grounding motions. And if you can do this class outside, or if you have wooden blocks like I use in this class, anything to connect you to the earth a little bit more, by all means, use them in class. But right now, you're just standing in Tadasana. And now, inhale the arms down, around, and up overhead. Exhale the hands to heart center. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale the arms down, around, and up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. This time, inhale the arms down, around, and up overhead, and clasp the opposite elbows. So you're creating a frame, and then just bend over to the right, just as much as you can here, pressing your left hips out. And then when you can't bend anymore, drop yourself and swing yourself around in a circle all the way back up. We'll do that 2 more times. Bend over to the right until you can't anymore, and then drop, swing all the way back up to Tadasana. Last time, bend over to the right, drop, swing in a circle, use your momentum, come back up. Very nice. Lengthen through the spine and flip the grip of your hands on your elbows, and we'll go the opposite direction. Bend over to the left now as much as you can. When you can't, release and swing all the way around up in a circle 2 more times. Bend over to the left until you can't anymore. Release, swing, let yourself have a lot of momentum here. 1 more time. Bend over to the left, and then swing around up to standing. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Meet me at the top of your mat if you are not already there. Inhale the arms down, around, and up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. 1 more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Very nice. Just kidding. Last time, inhale the arms up and exhale. Bend your knees, sink down into chair pose. You can keep your arms straight up overhead, or hands at the heart center, or hands on your hips, whatever is most comfortable. And I just want you to hold, and again, in your chair pose, imagine those roots extending out from your feet. Take another deep breath in, and exhale, fold forward. Very nice. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Plant the hands on the mat, step back into high plank. And from here, make your way into downward facing dog, however you want. I'm working through chaturanga and up dog. You can work through going all the way down to the mat and through cobra, or just pressing back into downward facing dog. Take a few deep breaths here. Bend the knees a lot to really straighten through your spine. Press your sternum to the mat, and then straighten through the legs. Bending one knee and then the other. Beautiful. On your next inhale, lift the right leg up to the ceiling and bring the right foot between your hands, coming into your low lunge. You don't need blocks here if you don't want them, but I'm using them because it's a way of bringing the ground up to me. So the point of this low lunge, so what I really want you to do is sink your hips down to the mat and have something to press your hands into to lift up through your spine. So the earth element, of course, is very grounding, and what that kind of energy does is it creates an anchor for us, so that no matter what winds or anxieties or worries come at us, we stay stable. Take another deep breath in, and on the exhale, press your hips back into half split. Inhale forward into low lunge. Exhale back into half split. Inhale forward, low lunge, letting your hips fall nice and deep. Exhale back into low lunge. And this time, readjust your blocks if you have them and need them, and let your chest fall towards your knee. For my part, I can be a pretty airy-fairy person sometimes. I love grounding practices because they allow me to balance my daydreamy, brainstorming energy and bring it to the earth plane where I can actually act on those dreams and goals and brainstorms that I come up with. Inhale forward again into low lunge. Set your blocks aside if you were using them. Plant your hands, curl your left toes under, come back into high plank, and make your way back into downward facing dog. Again, however you would like. Yogi's choice. If you've practiced with me before, you know I generally offer yogi's choice on however you want to get into downward dog on any given day. Know thyself first. Inhale the left leg up to the ceiling and bring the left foot between the hands. Lower the right knee to the mat and come into your low lunge on the left side. And again, if you want to use the blocks, like I am here, you are welcome to. Again, what I want you to focus on, even if you don't have the blocks, I want you to focus on grounding through your feet. That left knee is directly over your left ankle. You're pressing into the mat through the top of the right foot behind you, and you're lifting your spine up to the ceiling. If you don't have blocks, you can rest your hands on your thigh. But I want you to imagine that balance, right, of rooting down into the ground and also lifting up to the sky. Exhale back into half splits. Inhale forward into low lunge. A few more times. Exhale back into half splits. Inhale forward into low lunge. And this time, exhale back into your low lunge and relax your chest towards your knees. And if you don't go very far in this pose, that's totally fine. The same principles apply. I want you to imagine that roots are growing into the mat from underneath your left heel and underneath the top of your right foot. And from here, you can lift up out of your joints, even though we're folding forward. So we're creating stability and also creating flexibility as well. Being able to root down into our mat or into the earth allows us to move with more grace. Inhale forward, come back into your low lunge, set your blocks aside, plant your hands, step back into your plank, and again, yogi's choice, make your way back into downward facing dog, however you like and however you need today. Beautiful. We're going to do a similar motion, but from high lunge to pyramid. So from your down dog, just take another deep breath in here. Maybe walk out your dog a little bit, and then inhale the right leg up to the sky and exhale the right foot between the hands and come up into a runner's lunge. So I'm using blocks here. Your right knee is still directly over your right ankle, right? We want to keep that nice 90-degree line. And from here, use the blocks, press into the blocks to get a straight line from the top of your head all the way down your back, your left leg to your left heel. And again, if you don't have blocks here, that's fine. You can be in high lunge or with your feet on the mat. Exhale back into wide-legged pyramid pose. Inhale forward into high lunge. Exhale back into pyramid pose. Inhale forward into high lunge. Runner's lunge, excuse me. And this time, exhale back into your wide-legged pyramid, pressing into your blocks. And here, in this pretty intense, active, stretching pose, I want you again to ground down through your feet. So you're pressing through all four corners of your feet, even if your feet aren't touching the mat. So you might notice my back foot, my heel isn't touching the ground, but I'm still putting all that energy into my heel. Inhale forward, come back into your runner's lunge, and we're going to hop forward into a supported warrior 3. So just bring the blocks with you so they're underneath your shoulders. And again, if you don't have blocks, you can come into your normal warrior 3. The principles are the same. Lift that left leg behind you, flex the foot really through that right foot. Again, imagine those roots anchoring you down into the mat. in your balancing pose, like warrior three, the stronger your roots can be, the stronger your feet can be pressing into the mat, the sturdier your pose can be. Beautiful. Come on up and hug that left knee into your chest, hands at heart center. And we're going to come into tree pose. What is a earth element class without tree pose? So your foot's going to either come to the inner thigh, the inner calf, or your toes will be balanced on the floor, kind of letting your heel rest on your ankle, on your right ankle. Any of these is fine. You are still getting the same benefits, and open your knee naturally. I don't want you to be forcing your knee as open as I am. I have pretty wide hips, and not everybody has hips this wide. So you want to just open up your knees to your natural width, and then find your foot placement in your tree pose. And then you can lift your arms up overhead to really symbolize that you are a tree. You're rooting down through that right foot, creating stability. Your core is engaged. You're looking at one point of focus, not moving, and your hands are reaching up overhead. Beautiful. Inhale the left knee to your chest. Exhale, send it back behind you, coming up into your high lunge. Take a breath in, and exhale, bend over, plant the hands on the mat, step back into plank pose, and make your way back to downward facing dog. And we'll do that whole thing once more on the other side. So in your downward dog, just walk it out just a couple times. And then inhale the left leg up to the ceiling, and exhale the left foot between the hands. Grab your blocks if you have them, bring them directly underneath your hands so you can press into them and keep your spine nice and long. If you don't have blocks, that's fine. Just bring your hands to the mat, press into your feet, and see how much you can lift up out of your spine even though your hands are on the mat. Take a few deep breaths here. I want lots of energy out that back foot and pressing into the mat with that front foot. Yeah? Exhale back into your wide leg pyramid pose, straightening the left leg. Inhale, come forward into runner's lunge. Exhale back into pyramid pose. One more time. Inhale forward, runner's lunge. Exhale, straighten the left leg back into your pyramid pose. And take several deep breaths here in your pyramid pose. Again, pressing into the mat. Almost pressing into your mat as if you could split your mat in two. That's how much energy I want through your legs. This is your grounding energy. This is the energy that stabilizes you. Inhale forward into your low lunge. From here, you're going to bend the right knee, hop up, bring the blocks forward so they're underneath your shoulders, and lift the right leg up behind you so your legs create a 90-degree angle. Flex the right foot, no matter where your leg is. If you can't lift your right leg up to 90 degrees, that's totally fine. Just use that inner thigh to lift the leg behind you as much as you can. Flex the right foot and press into the blocks beneath your shoulders. Imagine you're grounding down into the mat and lifting out of your hips, even though you're in kind of this funky position where you're actually parallel to the mat. Take another deep breath in and exhale. Come up to standing and bring the right knee into your chest. Beautiful. From here, we're going to come into tree pose. So bring that right foot either into your inner thigh, your inner calf, or rest the heel against the left ankle. And if you can't quite balance with your hands over your head today, that's fine. Just keep your hands in prayer or on your hips. But if you're feeling pretty good about your balance, extend your arms up overhead like they're tree branches extending out of you. And while you are doing that and visualizing that, still imagine those roots extending out of your foot. Allow that stability to ground you. And you're still sucking through in your core, keeping your abs nice and strong, and you're scooping your tailbone as if it could touch the mat beneath you. Beautiful. Great. Bring the right knee back into your chest. Extend it back behind you into your high lunge. Inhale. Exhale the hands down to the mat. Step back into your high plank pose and make your way back into downward facing dog. Yogi's choice, however you like. Beautiful. Walk out your downward dog here a little bit. And just take several breaths. Bending one knee and then the other. Maybe putting all your weight into one foot and making little circles with the wrists, with the ankles. Beautiful. And then very carefully walk your feet to the center of the mat and walk your hands back to meet you. Turn towards the long edge of your mat and heel toe your feet wide into a wide-legged forward fold. So we're now kind of working along the long ways of our mat. Your feet should be about one leg's length apart. If you want blocks underneath your hands here, you can always lift up and straighten through your spine here, or you can just rest your hands on your mat. Yogi's choice again. Choosing your own adventure, knowing where you need to be, knowing how grounded you need to be. Do you need blocks or do you want to challenge yourself without them? It's up to you. That's important self-knowledge. Heel toe the feet in, so the heels are a little bit wider than your hips. Toes are facing out, and we're going to come into our Malasana squat. I'm putting a block underneath my bum because I love a supported Malasana squat. It's one of the most grounding postures, and I love it. If you don't have a block, that's fine. Just rest in Malasana wherever you can bend your knees to. Either way, no matter where you are, bring your hands to heart center. If you can press your elbows into your knees, do so, and take a couple deep breaths here, breathing in and out through the nose. And once again, like we've done this whole class, imagine you can feel roots extending out from underneath your feet. And if you want to close your eyes here, you're welcome to too. Beautiful. If you used a block, remove it out from underneath you, and everybody come down onto your mat into a cross-legged position. We're going to come into a little twist first. So actually you can extend your right leg long if you like, or you can bend it underneath you like I have. And you'll bring that left foot across the right knee. Inhale, nice and tall, and twist towards that knee to the left, hugging the knee into your chest and using your left arm behind you as a kickstand. Lengthening through the spine, nice and long. And again, this time imagining those tree roots coming out of not just your foot and your knee, but also your sits bones and your hips, your pelvis. Come back to center, and we'll just switch the legs. So again, this time the left leg can be long or it can be tucked underneath, and the right foot is going to go on the outside edge of the left knee. You'll hug that knee into your chest and twist over to the right hand behind you as a kickstand. With every inhale, I want you to imagine that you're rooting down and lengthening up through the spine like a tree. And with every exhale, you're going a little bit deeper into your twist. It might be microscopic, and that's okay. We want more the energy behind it, the intention behind it. Eventually, as you keep practicing that intention, you'll get into your twists deeper and deeper as you go along. Take another deep breath in, exhale it out. Very nice. And come back to center, unwind the legs, bring your feet wider than hip width apart, and just windshield wiper the legs side to side. Release from the low back just a little bit. Swing your legs around, and we're going to come to lie down on our backs for our Shavasana. So hug your knees into your chest first. Give yourself a little hug. Very nice. And then extend your feet long, feet as wide as the mat. Rest your hands by your sides, palms facing down. And here in your Shavasana, I want you to, again, imagine that you have those tree roots coming off of you at all points. Your feet, your hips, your hands, your shoulders, your back, the back of your head, extending into the mat, anchoring you, solidifying you in the here and the now. Yoga is all about bringing us into the present moment. Imagining that you are a tree growing your roots deep into the ground is a great way to practice that presence. If you haven't yet, go ahead and close your eyes and enjoy your Shavasana for the next couple of minutes. before you begin to move your body, just take a deep breath in and out. And then begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Make circles with the wrists and the ankles. You can hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little bit of a hug, rolling up like a ball. And then very gently press yourself up into a seated position. And we'll finish with a short visualization meditation. This whole class, we have been visualizing that we have roots extending from our bodies. So in your cross-legged position, or whatever your comfortable meditation seat is, rest your hands in your lap, either one hand on each thigh or one hand nested in the other. Close your eyes and imagine those roots again, extending out from your sits bones, from your knees, your thighs, your calves, your ankles, and your toes. And then imagine, and maybe actually, lift your spine up to the sky like you're a tree growing branches. And in this short visualization, I want you to imagine all of the thoughts that are going to come in this few minutes of silence as wind. Each thought is a little breeze, riffling through your leaves, through your branches, and allow that anchoring of your roots into the mat, into the earth beneath you, and that lifting up to the sky of your torso, of your branches, to stay stable. Let your thoughts go, let them weave through your branches. Don't hold on to them. You don't see branches trying to hold on to the wind. The wind goes where it wants, and we can let our thoughts go where they want. Allow yourself to rest here for a couple minutes. And if any thought comes to your mind, as it undoubtedly will, just allow it to move through your branches. Let it go. And if you get caught up in a thought, in a breeze, come back to the visualization, recenter yourself, imagine your roots in the ground and your branches in the air. And I'll cue you to come out of it in just a few moments. go ahead and release the visualization. Take a deep, recentering breath. Inhale in. Exhale out. Dip the chin very gently. And when you're ready, you can inhale the arms down, around, and up overhead. Exhaling the hands to heart center. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me today for this Earth Element Yoga. This is the first in a series, so there are going to be 3 more element classes and, of course, some meditations, because what is Awaken Your Life Yoga without meditation? If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you've been around here for a little while and have been watching my videos and haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you as a subscriber. I introduce and share new videos every Thursday, and I would love to see you again on the mat. So until next time, have a lovely rest of your day. Bye for now.